We do have a quorum at this time, Mayor Sakara.
All right, I just unmuted myself. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, welcome everybody. So at this time, I'm going to call this meeting to order. And again, welcome. First thing on our agenda is an opportunity for public comment. If anybody wants to make any comments, at this time, we'll recognize you. I don't think we have anybody. So we'll move on to item number 3, which is staff updates. And Mr. Nelson, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everybody. Staff updates, that's pages 5 through 6 in your packet. As you'll see on the screen and in your packet, the upcoming KTMPO meetings for December will be held electronically. We are tentatively still planning to have the January 13th Joint TAC and Policy Board meeting, followed by a project bus tour, but that is up in the air at this time. The 2045 MTP Reprioritization Call for projects closed November 13th. KTMPO staff received a total of 59 roadway projects and 22 livability projects. Our reprioritization schedule is there before you on the screen. Our next 2 milestones for the reprioritization process are the 20th of November. We're going to be submitting those applications to our consultant, and the 31st, we are going to be receiving those objective scores back from the consultant. The air quality for Temple was 65 and 67 in Killeen. And without any questions, that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, does anybody have any questions? All right, so we'll move on to our next item, which is item number 4. And this is an action item regarding approval of minutes from October 21st, 2020 meeting. Does anybody have any questions or comments on those? They are in your packet if you haven't reviewed them. Hearing no questions or comments, we'll entertain a motion for approval.
I do have a motion from Mayor Davis and a second from Mayor Diaz.
All right, we do have a motion and a second, and we'll just approve it unless somebody is voting in the no, just type it in. But we'll just say it's unanimous. Next item is item number 5, which is discuss an action item. And this is staff.
Yes, sir. Good morning. We had the public participation plan as well as the limited English proficiency plan that went out for a 45-day public involvement period. We had no comments received on these plans, and at the earlier November meeting, TAC did recommend approval of both plans. Our request before you today is to move these plans forward for action of approval.
All right, any questions or comments on these? If not, entertain a motion for approval. Just type it in the chat box. Okay, here you go. Sorry about that. I don't see my, so we do have a motion by Mr. Bertner, second by Susan. And so if there's no questions or comments, if you disapprove, just go ahead and put it in there. Otherwise, we'll take it as an approval from everybody. All right. Next item is a discussion item regarding amendments to the FY21 through 24 transportation improvement and staff.
Yes, sir. These two projects, which are W W3501, the US 190 bypass project, and W3507, the Northwest Loop 363 project, were brought before the policy board in October to initiate the public involvement. These projects went out for public involvement with no comments received. They were brought back before the TAC in November with a recommendation to approve these projects. However, we have been advised at this time that we cannot take action at the policy board level for TIP amendments because our current TIP, the FY21 to 24 TIP, is still being reviewed at the state level. So we just wanted to bring this item before you that it has gone out for public involvement. It has done the due diligence of that portion of the schedule. And so we will bring this back to you at a later date for final approval.
All right. Any questions for Kendra? All right, easy. Item number 7 is discuss, and it's also an action item regarding approval of an amendment to the 2045 MTP for projects W30-23, and this is on US 190 Loop 363. Kendra?
Yes, sir. This project similarly went out for public involvement as initiated by the policy board in October. We had no public comments received. We brought this back before the TAC at their November meeting with a recommendation to approve this amendment. This is simply an MTP amendment, therefore it can move forward with final approval by the policy board.
All right, questions or comments on that? If not, this is an action item, so we just need a motion and a second. I don't see anything yet. There we go. We got a motion by Mr. Burton. Just need a second.
I believe the motion was by Mayor Diaz, Mayor Segarra, and it was seconded by Bobby Whitson.
Got it. Got it. So motion by Mayor Diaz, second by Mr. Bobby Whitson. If there is no objection to it, it shall be approved. If there is, just put in it in the comments. Item number 8 is discussion and action item regarding the approval of CAT 7. And this is on System Roadway Project and the transit allocation. And staff?
Thank you, Mayor. This is our match requirement and allocation for transit funding. Excuse me. Category 7 funds are an 80-20 split, and what we're looking to do this with this action is to determine whether the 20% match should come from state funds or local funds. Historically, our CAT 7 match requirements are shown on the screen. The December 2018 action was for the match to be 20% local. At the TAC meeting, the TAC recommended a 20% local match for Category 7 for on-system projects, and allowing by a special vote on a project-by-project basis if there were extenuating circumstances for a jurisdiction to request that 20% local match be switched over to a state match. And for the transit allocation, historically, because there's not a transit track for scoring, KTMPO has allocated 10% of their Category 7 funding for bus replacement projects. So that's what's on the screen before you today. So the action we're needing is the on-system roadway project match, as well as the transit allocation approval.
All right, any questions? All right, seeing none, we just need a motion on approval of both of these items as one. So entertain a motion.
And I would like to say, when the motion's made, that we need the motion to state whether the 20% is going to be 20% local or 20% state, or the 20% local match with a special vote project by project basis to allow funds to be state match.
And the recommendation that you mentioned was 20% state, right?
20% local with a case-by-case basis for the authorization for state.
Yeah. So we do have a motion by Mayor Diaz, and Mayor Diaz, on that, can you, does she have to put in the wording as you said it, or, you know, do you want that state match or local match?
I believe the wording, the motion could be to recommend approval in accordance with the TAC recommended match. And that way we have it all documented.
All right, so you're okay with that, Mayor Diaz, since you made the motion? And it was second by Mr. Miller, Judge Miller. And she did amend it there. So if there is no comments or questions, all those in favor, it's yes. If you don't want it, just put no, just type in no or nay. All right. Moving on to item number 9, discussion item regarding public input received through October 2020. So.
Yes, sir.
Kendra?
As you can see on your screen, we have not received any new comments over the last month, but we will continue to bring those before the committee and before the policy board at each month's meeting.
All right. And then the last thing there before we adjourn is member comments. Do we have anybody that would like to say anything before we adjourn? You can unmute your mic. All right. So last is adjourn. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next time. And thank you for being here. So with that, we are adjourned.